that time was very special to me, and I did feel really good in some ways, but I was a mess, like kind of more as like a functioning person because I was so obsessed with this one thing.
Can we talk a little bit more about when you did fall with 1085?
Mm-hmm.
And you said that you didn't want to go out on those terms, but you were kind of forced to. I've never really heard you say I've heard you say that, but I've never heard you really talk about that transitional period, about like what was going through your head, because you were still on stuff at that time, and that didn't make things any easier to, switch and transition to, whatever, getting in shape and losing a bunch of weight and getting jacked. It's
very humbling, to get thrown on the floor. But I mean, the reason why that happened, in training, I did like an 1135 reverse band squat, which in accordance to like a lot of other stuff I did, I was like, I'm probably good for like 1110 or something like that in the meet, 1110 pounds. And 1085 was my second attempt, was to try to sneak in like a 5-pound PR. I absolutely destroyed my opening attempt. Like I honestly didn't even feel anything from it. The form was really good. Everything was locked in real well. And what was happening was my knees were wrapped pretty good on the next one, and they were wrapped a little early, and it takes a while to load those plates and things like that. And then also my suit was really tight because I gained a little bit of weight coming in. So I'm wearing a squat suit. This is not raw powerlifting. This is equipped powerlifting. Like, do whatever you got to do to lift as heavy as possible. And my legs were falling asleep. And so I didn't have the proprioception to like feel everything that I need to feel the way that I need to feel it. I've had it happen before in training, but I've never had it before with like a big weight. So I was like, I can't have someone unwrap me. I'm going to miss the lift.
Pull that bitch up, Andrew?
Yeah, I definitely can.
I think it's called like tumble or stumble or something.
I have it, I think, saved somewhere.
So, you're in that moment, and my knees are already wrapped. And if I was to get them unwrapped, I would have missed that attempt. And looking back on it, if I was coaching somebody, but the athlete's not going to tell you that they're, you know what I mean? Like, so if someone's like, hey, dude, are you okay? I would have been like, yeah, I'm all right, And so I still wouldn't have said anything. But my legs were pretty numb. Like, they were pretty damn, like it was really, it wasn't smart. And so it was a humbling experience, and it just is something that forced me to make a lot of changes. I got pretty hurt during this, like I got pretty injured. It took me, I think it took me 2 hours to go from my couch I went from a chair in my house to a fold-out bed that came out of the couch because my wife had to prep that for me because I couldn't make it up the stairs. Yeah, there you go. I couldn't make it up the stairs, so I went from this chair or recliner thingy that was in my house to this bed thing that came out of the couch, and that took me like an hour or 2 hours. We're talking about walking 50 feet. So I was really, really messed up. My ankles were really swollen. My knees were really swollen.
You never got surgery for any of this either. Never.
No, I didn't get surgery. I didn't even go to a real doctor. I went to like an acupuncturist because I didn't really want anybody to tell me there's anything like really wrong with me.
Hey, but real quick, don't lose your thought. But I think what you just said right there is actually kind of crazy, but a big deal. You were controlling the perception of what happened. Like if you went to a doctor, there's probably some shit that was torn up in your knees. Right now you're running, you're squatting, you're deadlifting this today, right? Yeah. But if you went to a doctor, they'd have been like, oh, this is fucked up. You need to get surgery.
You'll never walk again, or some shit.
Right, or some wild shit like that. But you're like, you probably already thought those things, but you're like, okay, let me just not even deal with any of that. Let me just move forward and control the process of how I recover. And now you're good. But that's a big deal. Like people need to take note of that.
I've been around for a long time, and I've seen people break bones in powerlifting. I've seen a broken arm. I've seen a broken leg. And I definitely knew that I didn't I could have broke something. Like I could have they could have said, oh, you fractured something in your foot or something. That's why it's so swollen. Or, the small bone in your ankle is, but they can't even really do stuff for some of those things. Sometimes they can put you in like a cast or whatever, but you spiral fracture your leg or have a compound fracture of your leg, you know it, everybody else knows it. So I was like, I don't think anything like that happened. It's just, shit's just really swollen. But it took months and months to kind of lick my wounds from that day forward to try to figure it out. And like I said, Andrew, I didn't want to go out on those terms, so I came back, and by the time I came back, raw powerlifting was in vogue. So I did a little bit. I did some single ply competitions. I broke some records in the bench press for that, just because it didn't matter to me if I was wearing a multi-ply shirt or a single ply shirt. And had a little bit of success with that, and did a little bit of squatting that was pretty good that way as well. And then just transitioned into messing around with some raw stuff, which I wasn't horrible at, but I wish I would have put a little bit more time into it, because I think I could have done a little bit better, but it wasn't what I was trained in originally.
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, because we continue to bring you peak content on this channel. Obviously, you guys are here. You guys have watched the whole video. So like, comment, subscribe. All right. See you later.